why not just gloat and put all of my photos up?
Sold his these things because he lost to a Mumak.
Well, no rolls to 3 high. Awesome. Goes prone, dies.
Probably not Jay diving into a pool. Can't deny or confirm it is Jay diving into a pool. Legally distinct Jay diving into a pool.
Bing bang!
Fuck, you're alive!
She was too busy hurling watchers.
Shout out to jumping in the
organisers.
pool with all your clothes on and phone in pocket.
I need the best internet as possible. Struggles with internet.
Came into Sunday, just wanted to play well, not shit the bed.
Jay has been on the tools.
Sometimes, though, people decide not to use for all 12 inches of that horse.
This is your daily dose of internet.
Fix
G'day
my feet,
gamers,
Tyler.
and welcome back to Mountain Goat Gaming, home of all things MESBG. My name is Jay, and join with me are my lovely co-hosts, Alex, Sean, and Tyler. Thanks for joining me today, guys.
Brother, you could sound more excited.
Wow.
Exactly.
This
Get
is,
some
I'm
enthusiasm. Where's
I'm-
the?
I am keen to talk about this tournament.
I want to right click uninstall after this.
Oh, anyway, so I'll just go fuck myself. Guys, today we're here to talk to you about the Premier Queensland GT event. This is probably the big one. This is like the tournament to go to, Queensland specifically. Sean's done a phenomenal job at running this event 2 years in a row, and he always labels it as the one event you try and make it to if you're not a real tournament goer. And this year definitely did not disappoint. So this is also the first event where all the goats were together, and I'm not going to lie, it felt so natural. A lot of our relationships have been built just over Zoom, and the fact that we could all be in the one room, sing some beers together, talk some crap, just being, in the same tournament after each game and stuff like that. I don't know, gave me warm fuzzies. You know what I mean? It was good. I enjoyed it.
I also want to say just the wider, like not just us, but the wider like MGG team as well. So we
Yes.
had the Victorians that partake and the Queenslanders, and just the intermingling. It was beautiful. There's a lovely photo running around of most of us, those that didn't miss out on the photo op, just giving us one of these. Which shout out to Jono. Which
Fucking
this started off
him.
as him going T-bar, and now it's basically kind of just like the goat horns and everything. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's awesome to be a part of.
Guys, before we get too far into this video, I just thought we'd share like a bit of a hobby progress run, how we're all going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex, what are you working on at the moment, dude?
Awesome. I'm running on some Riders of Theoden, so I've been painting up my Rohan. It's a full Royal Guard list, so lots of lots of dudes, lots of non-metallic armor. Really, really happy with it. I'll post some pictures up on the Instagram, which you can check out in the description.
Nice,
Sean,
dude.
what are you been up to?
I've been painting some Night Lords, so not MESBG related, but really enjoying painting flayed skin, which is quite morbid, but very much enjoying it.
Yeah. I'm slaving away with terrain yet again, 3D printing out the
Nice,
wazoo, just trying to improve the boards. I've actually enjoyed this week not having to paint something explicitly for a tournament. It's been really good. Tyler,
Tyler, ooh, Tyler, what have you been painting, sir?
Nothing.
Have you been painting toenails, maybe?
Absolutely, that's what I do. Thank you.
Let's go.
I will
Yes.
say he received a Glorfindel that Kylie painted for.
I
it. That
did,
was-
exactly. I got to play with
Oh.
Lord of the Mid, and he has
He's
forever
literally
lived
exactly-
up to that. So that's been fantastic. But otherwise, good. I swear I'll get into hobbying.
Guys, before we get too far into it, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell button. Sean, run me through what in the Queensland did happen over, like a weekend or two ago.
What in the Queensland?
You heard me, brother.
So we had what this video is all about. So we had the Queensland GT, which I like to mix it in as both for the competitive players, but also for those that aren't competitively inclined. So I want it to be seen more as like of a games day for everyone. But yeah, two days, so full weekend of games. You got 5 games, 750 points, 2-hour time limits, and you just play, hang out with mates. But the most important part is forget the gaming. It's all about the Saturday night. Saturday night sesh. That's where it's at. You finish up you finish up after day one. You go and have dinner, drinks. You walk down the street. Some shenanigans happen. Shout out to Conquest Creations. Comment on all of his videos, asking him what happened in Bean League.
Let's keep moving on. So Sean, let's give us a quick 20-second the tournament round wise, scenario wise. What was the go?
Oh brother, so 5 rounds, 750 points, 2-hour game times, random rolled scenarios, removing any pool that has been used up. So just trying to remember what the scenarios actually were. Round 1, we had Heirlooms of Ages Past, which everyone absolutely adored in round 1. Round 2, oh, that one's escaping my mind. Was that To the Death?
It was To the Death.
Round 2 was To the Death, which another one. Everyone loves To the Death. Great scenario. Round 3, Seize the Prize. Was that day 2?
No. Clash by Moonlight.
Clash by Moonlight. That's it.
That's
Going
illegal.
into day 2, round 4 was Seize the Prize, and
Domination.
Domination. What the fuck? Why did I have
Seize the Prize is round 5.
I didn't run this tournament. Someone else ran it. Shout out to Reese Richards for running the tournament. No, and then round 5 was another scenario. Seize the Prize. Am I correct? Please tell me Seize the Prize. Yeah, there we go.
Wow. You got it.
What a eclectic group
Oh.
of scenarios.
Dude, every single one of them were 25%ers.
Yeah,
Which
There
is
was no
honestly
1-2s.
pretty
wild.
nice, honestly.
Oh, dude, I was hanging out for the Easter League right book. Can you please read that one for me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's,
never got
let's
to
do that
use it.
again.
Not once.
And that's honestly what I love about running the Queensland GT, and I'm always going to do it this way of running at random scenarios, is so that, everyone's army's going to be different. No one's catering towards, I know what the scenarios are, I'm going to build this, and you're going to see the exact same army show up because everyone's, building towards those scenarios. When you've got vetoes, you can do that, but not to that greater extent, but you're able to remove scenarios and whatnot, whereas this makes you go, cool, I could play literally any scenario, and I have to have a way to figure that out, to work around that. So it just creates a whole, variety of different lists, and we had quite a nice mixture of different lists showing up at the tournament, which was good. Obviously, the new supplement that recently came out influenced that a lot, so there was a bit of Arnor and Angmar / Witch King, but beyond that, there was a nice mix of everything.
Yeah, I thought so. Shout out to our old video that we did where we spoke through all of the lists. So if you want to go see what we played and what we versed, go give that a watch. So what I think we'll do from this point forward, we're going to talk round 1 and round 2 briefly. Alex and Tyler, if you guys want to talk through your games, talk me through the highlights, any sort of crazy thoughts, and then from there, move on, skip details where you see fit, just to keep it short. And then stay tuned to the end, because Ghost is actually going through like a bit of a twist and a bit of a change in philosophy. And I really want to, add that little section onto this review too. So, yeah. Anyway, Alex, we'll start with you. Your round 1. Whilst we just gaze upon this awesome banner of mine.
Look at Ratabi's cave. That's
Who is
anyone.
Ratabi?
Who is Rutabi? Who's Rutabi?
Who is
It's Brooke, you
Rutabi?
idiot.
Also, my round 1. So obviously, this was still Heirlooms of Ages Past against the new Battle of Fornos. So this was Glorfindel, Aeonor, and a Captain of Minas Tirith mounted with 10 knights, 6 elves, and some rangers and things. I was expecting such things from Glorfindel. Unfortunately, we had the classic. I went to roll priority, rolled a 6, and I was like, oh no, this is going to suck. I have to come on first. My opponent rolls a 6. We have to re-roll it. I roll a 5. He rolls a 6. Oh, it's always like Warbeast guaranteed to always go second. My opponent moves on, has to spend a couple points of might even to make sure he's on the board and really wants to be on the board ASAP to start digging up the objectives. Glorfindel has a 12-inch horse. Sometimes, though, people decide not to use all 12 inches of that horse. So when he was kind of like just in 8 inches of the board edge, my Mumak War Leader, which obviously rolled like high enough to go exactly where he wanted, immediately appeared behind him, killed a dude, and smacked into Glorfindel, ready to go. Horse died. He took some hits. We're then in combat. We strike up against each other. I win the strike off, obviously, and I roll a 4 high. I'm like, that sucks.
Obviously.
What am I going to do? I only roll a 4 high. I can't might it, can't do anything. Glorfindel rolls a 3 high. He only has 1 might in the bank. With Lord of the West, everything, rolls a 3 high. I'm like, awesome. Goes prone, dies. And from there, not much can touch the Mumak, because like Ayanor with some nice letter courage too, just ain't going to do the job. And I got a shout out to my Cav. They were doing some incredible dismounts, picking up heirlooms that weren't the real thing, and eventually grabbed it. And I believe it was a disgusting little 12-0 to start the day in a scenario that Mumax generally should not be winning. But that turn 1 play where the Lord of the Mid himself disappeared, that was good.
Shout out David Thompson's dice. Like, shout out David Thompson's dice. Like, his dice just leave the chat when they need to show up, and they just never do. Don't they?
He was telling me about a time that he rolled 12 dice once and rolled 12 ones, and I was like, "Yep, I believe it. I totally believe it." His dice were abysmal. There was like once he tried to get every single knight to charge the Mumak, he got 2 of them in.
Oh,
wow. Buddy, no.
Buddy, old pal.
Tyler, how was your round 1, man? What did you go up against?
I can't tell if he's frozen or still mad at me.
Oh, poor Tyler. I'll jump in for Tyler here. Tyler's so Ethernet cables were mucked around. Oh
my god.
Bye, Tyler.
Whilst Tyler's reconnecting, I'll quickly run you through. My round 1 was against Jude from Victoria. He was running a Last Alliance combo where he had Fight 6 with Strength 4, both Isildur and Gil-galad. Highlight of that game was getting a cheeky tremor off on both Isildur and Gil-galad. Gil-galad spending all of his will, but all 3 will, and only rolling a 3 high. So it was like, do you spend all your might, or do you lose both Isildur and Gil-galad's horse? They lost both horses, which I think in hindsight didn't affect the army too much, because it meant that it took a decision away for Jude, and they just got stuck into the pike wall, because we were fighting in quite a tight channel. But man, Jesus, I got smashed. Like, as in, he killed so many models, but I picked up the heirloom and won the game that way. But holy dooly, it was clutch.
I will say, so the night before the tournament, I had a bit of a hand from Alex, where we put names into random generators for round 1, and when we saw you and Jude face off, the 2 of us immediately went, that's the game. Probably the game of the tournament.
It was tight. Jude was such a gentleman to play. Very, very adept at the rules and understanding how the game functions and flows. It was a real great pleasure to play. Tyler, are you with us now, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
I'm fucking gonna throw this PC in the fucking bin. I literally even grabbed another freaking Ethernet cable today from Officeworks, and now I'm just like, okay.
Brother's still rocking Ethernet cables?
Oh, same. I'm gonna go same.
It's called hardwire. What the fuck? I want to. I need as best speeds as possible.
I need the best internet as possible. Struggles with internet.
Shut your ass up.
I will say, Jay, I was going to say really quickly, my highlight of your game was when I came over when I was done, and you had an Easterling that picked up the prize, and I was like, don't forget to roll for the transfix. And you're like, of course. Do you want to roll it?
This.
And I went, of course I'll roll it. I am going to roll a 1 though. Immediately roll a 1, and Jay's like, oh god. So that was a little fun bit of spice that I got to add to that game.
Like it just added another layer of like pressure that I just didn't need at that time.
It was the fact that I warned you beforehand. I'm like, hey, dude, just so
You
you know.
did. You called your shot. You called your shot. You could have said a 6, but you fucker. Anyway, Tyler, while we have you here, man, talk me through your game 1.
Played against Spider Queen, Dark Marshal, normal Ring Wraith, and a what was it? Was it a normal captain? I can't remember what it was.
Zach
Was
Dush.
on a
Anyway.
base as well.
It was Zagdush, that's right. It was
Yeah, it was
something like that.
Gareth. Shout out Gareth.
Yeah, Gareth, absolute gentleman to play it. Love playing against him. So we're playing Maelstrom. We roll. Of course, he ends up coming on the board first. 3 of his warbands appear. And so then comes back to me, and I get 1 warband on the table. And it's only Musger. Everyone else rolled a 1 to arrive. I was like, yeah, I love this game. But for him, his Spider Queen hadn't come on yet. And I'm like,
Oh.
why, hello there. So, turn 2 occurs. Spider Queen comes on because he gets priority again. Spider Queen comes on. It's like, you know what? Is that your leader? I'm like, yes, it is. Comes on really close to Musger. And I'm like, cool. And basically invested, I think it was like 2 points of might, or 2 or 3 points of might, to have everyone else come right up her ass. So then I had 10 prowlers, 9 goblin archers, 2 more trackers on top of the 5 from the original warband. And I was like,
Bye-bye.
defense 4 Spider Queen.
On the
Gareth.
wound.
And proceeded to take her off the table in that turn 2, just from shooting. And then after that we kind of steamrolled from there. He played really well though with because he had arrived a lot earlier and such, was able to pin like 3 or 4 objectives, and so I was only really able to protect 1, so I had to kind of fight my way through it. And then as a sort of last ditch effort, he's like, oh, I'm gonna try and dig it up. And I'm like, man, if you roll a 6 here, I'm gonna be big sad. Doesn't roll a 6, fortunately. I get the objective. I can't remember. I think I get the banner, but I don't know if I can't remember what it was. Was it a 12-0? I think it could have been a 12-0 or a 10-0. Can't remember what it was exactly, but it was one of those things where as soon as he lost, basically it was a Spider Queen, 2 Mirkwood spiders, and the Bat Swarm. As soon as he lost that, it was like, cool, now you're playing 200 points down basically. And
Especially all the stuff that's like there that's so good at grabbing heirlooms and moving fast. Oh,
Dude, the broodlings in Heirloom of Ages Past actually
crazy.
terrified the life out of me.
yeah, that's
It's
why I was
so
like, no.
good.
I was like, no, not today. You can
Yeah.
get killed. I'm not dealing with this Spider Queen.
100%. Alex, round 2.
Round 2 was to the death, and I was playing Maddie's Arnold. So this was all 4 named heroes. So this is Aranath, Agadir, Malbeth, Vidui, and realistically, there's a lot of room here for me to kind of walk across the table and get shot a lot. But luckily, my leader is pretty hard to bring down.
Elephant?
He's in the elephant. Banner's on Solodan. He can be taken down, but he's still a tough nut to crack for Arnold. And to break me, you got to get some shots into the Howder. I eventually get there, and I am absolutely stonewalled. I lose dudes in the Howder. I lose a couple of the Cav, and I don't even get a charge off. I get charged before I can move. I just mismeasured big dumb. And I sit there for, I think it was about 4 turns, losing the move off, getting charged by Agadir, Aranath, and like between 8 and 14 guys each turn, and like maybe a knight or 2. The only mistake was not putting more knights in for the +1 to wound. I lost, over the course of the game, I believe I lost 8 or 9 wounds on the Mumak, and I saved 3 of them with the 6+ save.
Getting close. But also,
Luckily, no failed courage, but I was sitting there going, I think she had 6 knights, 5 or 6 knights. If those knights went really hard on me,
those extra,
I was, oh, dude,
Because what are the knights wounding the Mumak on?
5s by
5s
3s.
by 3s, yeah.
Oh,
They can
yeah,
do some
you're
damage.
giggling.
But luckily, there was the moment where Maddie finally ran out of might. I hit 1 or 2 of my 4+, and obviously, that was the worst bit. Aaron Arthur been striking up to, because obviously I can't strike back because it's not the leader. But they had to spend so much might just to get 6s to win the fight. This is with like 16 dice and a banner.
Jeez.
It just, and I was rolling like a 6 every turn with the banner reroll from Solardan and just forcing out might. I finally win the heroic move off. I think there's 1 might left on Malbeth. And I hit Aaron Arthur and stopped because that dude just lost every single 4+ Malbeth save. And I went, no, this can't happen. They don't do a wound, or they do 1 more. I'm down to like 1 or 2 wounds left. And I'm like, no, this can't happen like this. I finally popped the last point of might on the War Leader. There's no kill back. Finally go through Arena, go through Argadia, and just plow through a couple more guys. And it got to the point where I still had Solardan alive. Those heroes, nasty heroes, had finally gone down. And we ended up calling the game early because at that point, there's not really a lot that can stop the Moonmax. Solardan was free. I'd focused so much effort into killing rangers that there was no shooting threat that would have dealt with Solardan. He could have just wandered away with the banner points. And thankfully, a really, really scary tight game. It ended up in a 12-0. I don't think it was indicative of the game whatsoever, though, because that was really,
that could have
really
swung
scary.
so
as
quick.
soon as the Moonmac dies, I just lose.
You lose.
Everyone dies. I break. My leader usually dies, probably.
No, the leader will usually survive, but it'll be on like 1 wound,
like
one
no
fade
fade,
or something. It'd be barely anything.
But yeah, really, really tight game. I'm glad we got to play again because we played at the Goats Open a month or 2 ago. So yeah, fun game.
Hell yeah. My round 2 was against Damo from Victoria. Wicked game. We had such a fun time. I was already 2 points up because I had a banner and he did not. It was such a good game. Thank you, Damo, for being an absolute chat. Round 3 and 4. Tyler, what did you... I didn't have any photos from you guys, so I thought, why not just gloat and put all of my photos up for us to enjoy?
You didn't ask. I've got photos.
Oh, I'm shocked.
What was round 3 again?
Round 3 was Clash.
Oh, okay. So I played against the host of the Witch King. Had Witch King. I think it was the Tainted. Is the Tainted the one with the 2 might, right?
Yeah.
It's the 2 might, 14 mil, right? Yeah.
Jesus.
And then had the Shade and a normal Barrow White. Turns out in Clash by Moonlight, when your whole gimmick with Goblin Archers is that you can usually hit, not being able to hit at all is a interesting dilemma to have to adapt to. Overall was a very sort of slow, sluggish game, just going back and forth in terms of movement, trying to sort of bait out the will from the Shade. And he was like, no, I'm going to keep my 1 will to, I think I baited out like 3 points of will. Then we get close. He then saves 1 of his points of will. And in that turn, I kid you not, I think I killed like 13 models to shooting. Just from shooting alone. He was just like,
Oh, brother.
And I was like, yeah, okay. You know what? Shade's nice. The Shade's good. It's fair and balanced. No question. I love that. Otherwise, it was just such a slow and sluggish game. Just going back and forth with Magic. Especially in Clash by Moonlight, I found that because all of my heroes, or at least 4 out of the 5, are 1 fate, 2 wound heroes, him being able to confirm black darts was a huge thing. He was really like, oh, do I use just 1? And I'm like, brother, just use 2 dice, confirm the black dart, and please just
kill him.
Like, just literally do the wounds, so on and so forth. The shade in that matchup, and I swear in other matchups would probably be huge, but just the courage buff, the shoot buff, and even the conduit for line of sight purposes is freaking huge.
Did he pop any +1s to the casting with it?
Didn't need to because he rolled a 6. So
I really like the Shade redesign. It's very, very different, but
beautiful.
I'm keen, and I'm sure Tyler's going to keep talking because he's definitely not frozen.
Oh, Alex, talk me through your round 3, man.
I'm gonna keep round 3. Tyler's back. I'm gonna keep round 3 brief because Sam from Chubby's Warhammer blog did a write up of our game. We'll put that in the comments as well, in the description. But essentially, it was a Spider Queen, Witch King, Zagdush, Mouth of Sauron list. And realistically, I looked at it going, cool, I need to kill Zagdush and the Spider Queen. Probably won't get a chance to kill the others. And that's basically what happened. The Mumak kind of went in to solo the majority of the stuff. I took some wounds, and then we realized, the Spider Queen, without like knockdown or an extra attack, can't really put enough wounds onto the Mumak. And then I eventually won a move off, and 3 wounds, defense 4 with no fate.
That's all, folks.
But that was my only trample for the entire game. I killed the Spider Queen 6 2s. That was my entire trample for the whole game, because I had to spend, I think it was about 2 might, 2 will, to not fail courage tests on my
down to 5.
stampede check. But he got some drained courages off that I couldn't resist.
Good man.
Which was the right move, 100%. Sam did it exceptionally. He was getting kills onto guys in the Howder to make sure he could break me. He assassinated Solodan perfectly with the bats in the mouth. I just got really lucky with both a camel killing Zagdush, which is out of nowhere, just soloing, and then my bows over the course of many turns were absolutely destroying defense 6. Obviously hitting on 3s and 4s, winning on 5s, rolling 1s, but yeah,
I'll be honest,
absolutely
seeing you get matched up with Sam in that, I went, all right, this is probably where Alex falls away.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the Al is going to come in. So he's like, he's going to play hard, obviously, but I think Sam, being as good of a player he is with the list that he had in that scenario, I just went, all right, I think Alex is gonna cop it here. But man, did absolutely fucking phenomenal work.
That was the thing, and I gotta honestly, Sean, I gotta thank you. You rolling those scenarios, you were immaculate rolling these scenarios. That really, because if I play Fog of War, I can't hold all the an objective against a list like that. If we're playing Assassination, it becomes, because then it's I can't protect Solodan from all that stuff and the bats and the Spider Queen and everything. So, bless up.
You're welcome.
That was a 6-4, I believe.
That's all, folks.
That was very, very close.
Bro, that is like the tournament in a nutshell. Thank you, Sean, for rolling these scenarios for Little Mac to just cruise through.
Yeah.
Hey,
my round 3.
I rolled 2 of the 3 scenarios. Thank you very much. I had someone else roll the other ones.
Anyway,
carry on.
Still pinning it on you. Shout out to a fellow goat, Marcus, round 3. Marcus is relatively new into the game, coming back after 20 years. This was the best Marcus has ever done. I think he got his first win, round 1.
No, he was on his first 2 wins.
No. For round 1, that was his first ever win.
That's right.
Since
Yes,
exactly. He was on cloud 9, and I was so happy for him. And then unfortunately, he ran into Eastlings with just Rivendell. And I basically just went, okay, cool. Held up here, kept my characters back, never let them in question. And yeah, we had a hoot of a game. Finished up, had some beers, and then moved on. I don't think Tyler's here anymore, so Alex, we might just keep going on to round 4, man.
That's totally fine. Also, shout out to Marcus just as a person. I love him so much.
But Marcus is such a sweet dude. Honestly, I love that man. And
shout out to jumping in the pool with all your clothes on and phone in pocket.
I gotta be honest, boys. There's still water in my watch.
Oh, love that.
What a story that is.
Mate, I would love to tell the story between round 3 and 4, but I think that's for after dark.
We don't want to be too much of a shit stir. We had a time. We jumped in a pool.
Holy shit!
Insert video of Jay diving into a pool. Anyway, carry on.
Round 4. This is the round when, because I think you gave us a little hint about the scenario the night before.
I did. I sent it out to everyone.
And I went domination. This is where the tournament ends. Mumak was doing insane. I'm like, I just can't hold on to objectives. I'm just too many points all in one model. And then I draw myself against, you draw me against Witch King Sauron, Barad-dûr, and I go, there's a chance. There's a chance.
And then I make a pretty rough ruling decision.
We have to make a rule, and I will actually, I don't know if we've told you, Sean, you made the wrong ruling, but it was still the right ruling. We'll tell you more. Essentially, we had to make a ruling concerning Chill Soul and Black Dart on the Howdah.
Yeah.
We actually, Tyler and I just decided to read the rules, and it literally just says, in terms of Magic and War Beast, you can either target the War Beast or models in the Howdah. So unless you think the Howdah is a model in the Howdah, you definitely cannot target it with Magic. So we did say that the Black Dart could affect it, and that was the ruling was Black Dart could affect the Howdah, so Chill Soul couldn't, but obviously Riley didn't go for that strat in the end. Sauron and the Mumak were 1v1ing for a majority of the game. I took maybe 6 wounds or so. Sauron took 4 wounds, so he was down to 1, so I could break the army, and I went sick. And we were just dueling. It was the Witch King supporting all these orcs against just my cav on foot. And I was going, this is going to be tight. He's still got a lot of models. Sauron's casting every now and then. And then I have one turn. My camels had been pretty disappointing this whole time. They'd killed maybe 4 models with impact kills, which is kind of their whole deal. And then one of them, 2 of them collect about 7 orcs. We didn't have shields. We were on 4s. But I finally hit the ding, 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 ding pinball machine, just bouncing between it, going like, I move 1 inch here, 1 dies. Move 2 inches here, hits another one, dies. And I went, oh, that's really good. And cleaned that out and then just dispersed. And I believe I ended up holding 3 objectives, one of which Riley got in 2 orcs. He had 6 orcs at the end on Courage 1. 2 of them passed, walked onto objective. Dudes in the Howdah, I had like 6 shots, killed both. Oh, and it was D5 as well, needing 6s to wound.
Oh, baby.
That was yuck. And
baby, a triple.
So I believe it was a 8-2, because Sauron held an objective, I held 3, and then I had gotten leader wound break for an 8-2 in again a scenario that against any regular army, if I play Tyler's AOL, your Easterlings, there is no way I can hold them all, and I just get the other random skill list that just plays in perfectly somehow.
Yeah, hilarious. Buddy, I have one comment to make. So shout out Jacob, spelled correctly, not the Conquest creator, the GOAT Jacob. We played round 4. This was the Tyler's round 3 opponent with the Witch King, host of the Witch King Legion. It ended up being a really, a rough game in the sense of every time Angmar Orcs come into Easterling Pike Wall, Angmar Orcs just go, and there was one moment where my 2 Easterling bowmen shot across the battlefield, and we were all here to watch this, which honestly, like this is one of those moments. This moment will live in my brain forever as like one of the coolest SPG moments ever. All right, let me set the scene.
Why we play the game.
It's 34 degrees outside. I have a 4X sitting on the corner of my desk, waiting to be sipped after I finish this game in time. Dice roll down. Smoke machines are on. Cue the lights. Shadow downlights onto the game board. And none of that happened apart from the fact that I was hot and sweaty. But I had 2 Easterling bowmen come in, take 2 shots across the battlefield into the Tainted, who was in combat with my Cataphract, which was on an objective over to the left-hand side, and pretty much nothing else was happening over there, right? I missed with 1, so 1 bowman has succeeded. 1 bowman to rule them all, you say? Abso-fucking-lutely you do, because here's what happened. I went through my guy. The arrow did like the Avengers do, the whistle, so
Yeah,
he did the Angelina Jolie wanted, like, just curve the fucking arrows, like, bang.
Anyway,
I went straight for the JFK reference of the
that hits out of a Tyler.
Fucking hell, man.
Where were you when
this
JFK
arrow just like
headshot?
smashed straight into the Tainted, and then poor Jacob fails both of his fate rolls and kills the Tainted that turn from a single arrow shot. Wild, and it gets better. And then the East. So our alliances met in the middle, and honestly, I'm just kind of chewing away, and spreading my lines slowly but surely to let the Dragon Emperor come through. Right, the Dragon Emperor comes through. He's still got 1 point of might. The Witch King, unfortunately, has no might left. So I then spend my point of might to then strike up, beat him immediately because the Witch King goes to fight 6 against men, like my boys. I'm a high fight. I rolled an 86. And I kill the Witch King in the single round of combat from the Dragon Emperor. And he
I
fails all
also
of his
want to
fate.
reiterate, before that happened, the Barrow White had 3 will left and didn't cast.
Fucking
As in, failed to
flopped.
cast it.
Right?
Flopped.
Did
It
Jacob roll a
sucked.
3 high or something?
Jacob just genuinely, his dice
3 high.
decided the last turn.
They're
just,
like, no,
we're
no,
not
no,
showing up.
no, no, no.
Oh, dude.
Too much work.
Because otherwise, I think I would have won by like 1, maybe 2 points, if that. But those series of events just swung the game to a major win. It like the scoreboard did not reflect what type of game Jacob and I had. And I think it's also a shout out to the Angmar Legion, but just how powerful 2 casters re-rolling and the Crown and Maul still being in effect can be with Angmar. Like, goodness me, I love that supplement so much. Anyway, that was
Tyler,
such a
you're
cool moment.
here, you're connected.
Okay, I'm gonna
Round
quickly
four.
go through it. Okay, I'm playing the new
Cut him off.
Arnor Legendary Legion. Shut the hell up, Sean. Okay, I'm playing against the new Arnor Legendary Legion. I think it's Maddie, one of the opponents that Alex played earlier on. So we're playing. What was the scenario? Domination.
Oh,
yeah, boy.
And so I start off about 10 inches towards the back, trying to create sort of an envelopment. She proceeds to move forward turn 1. I do turn 1 of just shooting into it. I kill 2 guys. I transfix Malbeth as well, turning off the actual saves. Turn 2 happens. She gets priority. She moves in to my wall, and I'm like, okay, no worries. Like, she's like, oh, you're not gonna call anything. I'm like, no, I'm good. Go ahead, do your move. She moves, overextends Argadir, leaves Arvidui off in a little island on his own, and I'm like, oh, why, hello there. So then I, being the kind individual that I mean, not really, Enrage Beast on a spider, Shroud of Shadows of that same spider, get it in. I also measured to see if my bat swarm can get in, and I put 2 bases to make sure for control zone. Get the bat swarm into Arvidui. On the other side, I also get the other bat swarm into Argadir, and she's like, oh, okay, you're gonna do any shooting? I'm like, nah. But I then, for the next transfix roll on Malbeth, I get another cheeky 6 to make it so she has to resist. She resists. She doesn't resist it. Sorry, she rolls like a 2 high. Can't mind it. I'm like, okay, cool. So we'll go from there. In that turn as well, Argadir then calls a heroic defense. Arvidui really can't do much. We go to combats, and bear in mind, she did the smart thing of dividing the combats up to where she can untrap Argadir after she kind of overextended him. And I'm like, okay, she still calls a defense because I have a spider in there and a prowler, so no worries. Then with Argadir's combat, I only have the 6 dice. I win the combat, and I get 3 6s, take him off. Then I proceed to kill, I think it was probably around 11 Arnor guys, just normal Arnor guys. Then gets Arvidui, and I'm like, cool, no worries. I get 6, 4 wounds from the venom back, and bye. And basically, we play one more turn after that. I think I get up to like 20 something kills after that in the next turn. I think I get like maybe like 6 or 7 prowler kills. And after that, she kind of I think ended up just conceding it after like 40 minutes, and that was all, folks.
Of
I was
course
like,
she did, dude.
and I was just like,
Dude,
I
you
felt
know
bad.
what?
I felt
Dude.
so shit. But at the same time, when my army actually got to do the thing, I was like,
Brother, it does it every time.
No,
That one was just depressing.
whoa. I've never
Okay,
played with
slow
Ashrak.
slow your roll. Slow
I've
your roll. We haven't got to
never-
round 5 yet.
I never played with Ashrak before this tournament.
Yeah, you know
So-
what? He is the chill choice.
He was the
He's
chill
so chill,
version.
dude.
I could have taken another Orc Shaman and kept transfixing Malbeth even harder.
Shut up. Shut up. I
That's
just
the
wanted
worst
an
thing
invisible
to-
spider.
Either way,
Yeah.
a lot of either way.
As soon
Very
as they go down, yeah, he's not much you
the
can do.
Malbeth saves being active was a huge thing, and it was just like cool. I think I rolled like 3 6s as well. With
Was
the
this
rerolls.
Musger doing it, or your
Yeah,
random Orc
Musger.
Shaman?
No,
Okay.
the Goblin Shaman was like, cool, I'll get the cheeky 5 first, and then she was like, okay, I'll resist. I'm like, yeah, cool. Musger now rolls a 6.
Yeah.
Cool. That's all, folks. You only have 2 will. That's just how it goes. Cool. Damn, boy.
Yeah.
Damn boy, he dick.
Tyler, while we have you here, can you talk us through your last round, please?
Okay, so last round was Liam Bisman sees the prize. I try and jump on the objective because I can with the Bat Swarm. Proceed to not dig up the relic for the first 4 turns of the game, and proceeded to not win a priority for the entirety of the game. And yeah, so I'm having to mitigate all this freaking Iron Guard throwing weapon shit, and yeah, ended up being a 5-5 draw. So I kind of rounded off there. It was a great game. 3 times I enraged Spider going into like just 2 normal dwarves, right? You're like, yeah, cool, 4 dice, I got this.
Nope.
No.
No, not today. Smack. All 3 of those spiders die. I have to do a last-ditch effort play where I literally trap my Bat Swarm in his in his area of the board to get the 5 points because he broke me without being broken. Oh, the other thing as well was the last turn I could have broken him, but it was like dice down, and I was just like, "Oh, we didn't even get to combat yet." And so then I was like,
that was something that shocked the Victorians. Was 2 hours for a 750 game and dice down immediately on 2 hours.
I was like,
that was something we have not experienced. That was shocking.
Yeah, 2 hours 750 was hard. I was like, man, I'm not good enough for this. I'm not ready.
Next time, what I'll be doing is it's still going to probably be 2-hour time limits, but I'm going to allot a specific 15-minute period for admin and get your armies deployed, and then from deployment, it's 2 hours of just game. I agree with that.
That makes sense.
That's what I'll be doing next time.
Done. And to be fair, you actually included 15 minutes on 3 of the rounds anyway, so you did kind of do that. I just think Tyler just wasn't used to.
I just suck, man. I just literally suck. It sucks when you don't win a priority for 9 of the turns, like all 9 turns.
That does suck. I'm not.
Dude, have you thought about getting better?
Bro, have I thought about rolling higher dice in priority?
Apparently
Dude,
not.
I'll let you borrow
Microwave
some.
by any chance?
What's up? I need some still dice, Alex. Can you?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
you
own a microwave?
You have still dice, you dog.
No, I don't. Chelsea has the still dice. I don't have still dice. Chelsea has
it's a good thing she's your fiance.
Bro, she ain't letting me touch them. She's like, no, she was too busy hurling watchers. Well,
I hate to burst your bubble, Tyler. We definitely all got still dice.
Listen,
goodie bag.
and listen, when she was like, cool, I'm gonna nab these, and I was just like, yeah, this is fair and balanced. I like this. This is great.
If you want to maintain balance in the household, happy wife, happy life.
100%. She can keep, if she needs 6s, use them and hurl watchers more. I'll look forward to that.
Respect. Tyler, speaking about getting better and rolling good, hold my beer. I have a story to tell. So correct me if I'm wrong, Alex. Both you and I are on 4 wins, no losses. Tyler, you are on. What were you? What were you got? What were you? What did you end up on? What did you
3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss.
3-1-1. Very nice. Respectable. Well done. So.
Hey, buddy.
we're gonna keep it simple, but just like as a bit of a to set the scene, it's seize the prize. It's Easterlings against an elephant.
Yeah.
And I have never played an elephant. I played an elephant once, and that was when I was learning the game on a kitchen table.
And honestly, no, Joe, no, I gotta back up Jay here. Honestly, half the issue with playing it is what the hell does it do? Why don't the rules make sense?
Why the fuck does a base move like this but doesn't count for movement? Like it
hurt. Brother, it moving through terrain just to get those extra like 4 inches of movement and then moving.
Brother,
mental.
It's but genuinely, and honestly, that's one thing I really hope, especially the Great Beast to Gorgoth getting legacied. I need a section where they just everything is plain and simple, exact. I don't want it. Warbeasts are one of the worst written sections in the rules. Needs a full overload.
Yep. They actually in 40k, just to quickly touch on it, 40k had a very similar issue with Imperial Knights. Imperial Knights bases were probably about this big. And when they would rotate, it was the exact same issue. They would get more movement because you could actually do double movements, and people were rotating and then moving. They're gaining nearly 4 inches of movement just by rotating. Then they said you have the center point at any point of your base. As soon as it shifts, counts towards your movement characteristic.
Yeah, because that's the same with all the other like oval bases and things. It's obviously weird because then you have the whole like you have to go in that one direction the entire 8 inches.
Yeah.
So you have the entire, so like, can they rotate a little bit, then move, then rotate a little bit, then move? It's tough. I'm not. I don't think any
Yeah.
of us have the actual answer, but something needs to be clarified there.
Absolutely. But
Because
this
again,
is,
we're
this
in the
really-
scenario
Oh, you go,
pool
brother.
as well. Oh no, I was just gonna say we're in this scenario pool where again, destroyer supplies. I can't do anything. You win. You drum march up the board, and I just can't stop you. Where if we play retrieval, you can split me up. I can't be everywhere. I have to just try and defend mine. We roll the one scenario where it's like, oh, it's just sitting in the middle, and I get to stand on one thing. Which, again, thank you, Sean. What's up?
You're welcome.
But
I'm here to serve the best player in Australia.
But
was
yeah, turn
all
one, you
rigged
grab. So you
all
grab the
along.
prize.
It
You grab the
did.
prize.
Yeah.
And I sit there and like an inch out from you and go, cool. Next turn we're gonna start rolling, baby. I win the first one and I go, cool. Dragon Knight, I don't like him existing.
Yeah.
And so I stopped him existing.
Yeah.
And from there it was a game of how can you get that prize out of there while winning enough priorities to just pin me. Jay, fuck me, you rolled so badly on priorities and move offs every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you did the right thing. You escaped out of there. You were putting your stuff into me to do damage, and then every time we got to the move phase, it was like, oh yeah, sick.
Dude, I got trampled every turn.
It got to a point where it was you had finally escaped out the back with the Dragon Emperor, Brawl Gear, and one
dude
with that had it. And I was like, and it was just like everything disappeared. Everything just disappeared. And then I went, you know what? I can't wait for the move because he was doing a fucking U-turn around the back of the board. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like 4 turns till he comes back. You know what? Solodan, 2 Mahud Raiders. I'm just gonna go in on the Dragon Emperor that had the prize. We'll try and stop him here. If I fail, you might just walk off the board, and that would have sucked.
I know.
And then I win the fight, and they just one-shot him, which you don't see every day for what is one of the sturdiest models in the game.
Sounds like a bit of a karma for doing that to what's his name, Jacob's Dwemer Lake or Tainted.
He's Witch King.
Yeah, or Witch King. Yeah.
But
It was wild, man.
it was a crazy game.
Oh, and I think the fact, like, seize the prize, that mission itself, I would still be happy to play. If it was the fact that it quartered when one army quartered, not both army quartered, I actually think I win.
Oh, 100%, because I have
And,
to like
there's
stop
no
killing you.
stipulations. I picked that up and we play exactly how we played. I'm quartered, we're done, I have the prize, you haven't got leaderboards. And that's it.
Yeah, I think the whole point is to prevent the I grab and then hold it in my back half and then just quarter myself. Because, but obviously in that one, definitely in that scenario where it went, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and I can essentially wait to wipe you out, or like I get it from Brawl Gear and then I just walk it off while like just like I'm a hood shields against him. Is definitely a feels bad moment for 100%, especially when an army that relies on 50-50s wins more 50-50 than it's supposed to.
Holy shit, right?
So,
This game, I want to talk about this and then I think we'll kind of move on from here. This game highlighted to me a real competitive shift where there are times where you have to get your game plan and eat it and shit it out and then think of something new on the fly. And what I mean by that is like the cardinal sin for Easterlings is don't split. Yeah? Sean, we split in the doubles and we got smashed. It didn't work.
Yeah.
And I had that in my head. I got into the GT and something switched and I went into like my competitive defensive playing mode.
Yeah,
right?
you walked up in your phalanx, they're all together, everyone's in their formation.
And it did, and it worked for 4 rounds, and I just kept doing my thing over and over again. This round specifically, with the board and how everything was positioned, there was not a whole lot of terrain for me to really use, apart from 2 sets of trees where the prize was in the dead middle. Right? I'm sure there'll be a photo here somewhere. However, if we're playing on like the risky, like a Gondor board or something along those lines, I can literally just dance around and be cheeky. And just worry about.
You gave me just a column of just hit this, please.
And what I should have done is actually abandon seize the prize, recognize that Alex had to. I thought of this pretty much half an hour into the game after I'd been demolished. I should have completely gone against every fiber of my being to pick up the prize and leave it. Try and bait Alex out, let him trample a few models, and then use my drum march to go like this and split and choose the other two corridors, let the Mumak try and turn around and just deal with a couple of cavalry whilst taking plinking shots with the Channel Fury up. At that point, I would have nothing on the ground to worry about. I would just have a single Mumak to deal with, which if the Mumak had kept going, or let's say Alex stays in the middle, the Mumak is only going to be able to choose and rotate and go one way. At which point, I will then literally just feint and fake and make him fucking run around the board, trying to chase me with the drum.
Yeah,
that is how I had to play that.
I think you threw a tremor at one point into the Howder to kill a couple dudes and try and get a wound on my leader. If that went everything into the Cav on the board, because then I literally cannot pick up the prize.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so it's just those little, and then again, and Tyler and I have talked about this because we also went up to Articon with Jack, who's the War Mumak aficionado. And it's like you need to pick your plan from the very start. It has to be a plan that works, and you need to stick to it. If you change plans halfway through, you just won't be able to do it well enough. If you're going to kill the Mumak, you have to put everything into killing it. If you're going to avoid it, you have to completely avoid it.
Yeah.
Yep. You have to pick the paradigm, going into the game and understanding what are your outs objective wise, and stick to it. Do not deviate. I've done it once where I've deviated mid game, and even with a highly volatile list, it still didn't pay off. You will get burned for it. So you either have to pick the paradigm Mumak, or targeting the war leader, or trying to break them as quickly as possible, so on and so forth, and going from there. After that, it is what it is. It's a skew list in itself.
Exactly.
And you have to sort of understand if this comes up against you at a tournament, it's not you're playing a Mumak game.
100%. It's a different.
You're suddenly not playing MESBG anymore. You're playing Mumak.
No, see, but I never understood that. I've heard it on Green Dragon says it all the time. You're not playing SBG game. You're playing a Mumak type game. And I always thought, oh yeah, it's a different game. What are you going to do? Run away? But whenever I played Seize the Prize for the last, a year and a half to 2 years, I've always thought, go to the middle, grind it out.
Yep. Oh, and that's what Eastlings do 99% of the time. And there's only a couple models that make you change the game. It's Mumak, Smaug, and then I'd say Black Riders, Vanquishers.
Black Riders, Vanquishers, Watchers, and Watchers.
That make you fundamentally have to change the way you play. And honestly, if you had either done the split, or what I had actually half recommended as well, is you go balls to the wall. Doesn't matter if I can free strike up. You just Blade Wrath the Dragon Emperor, and you just try and chop him down. Because I think that was also plausible, and you can take a impact hit from him, but still it's risky. It's 100% risky either way.
It's so risky. I mean, even with the Blade Wrath,
top tables at that point for you to rely off a strike off. And I know I've got the the Elven Blade and all that sort of shit as well, but I hate strike offs inevitably, and I avoid them like the plague. The only way that was ever going to happen was if I could get all my guys in and the Dragon Knight, and then not understanding the rotating of the Mumak led to the Dragon Knight being killed on the first trample, because I thought I had him in behind. I was like, there's no way he can get to there. Lol jokes.
Especially because it's just I even mentioned I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna clip him with the very side of my base.
It was just
because otherwise you were because you were half behind the forest. I'm like, oh, I don't need to hit you with the front of my base.
Yeah, any part of that base, and it's that pivot is huge because it gives you that extra 2 inches of movement as well. So you're like, oh, you only move 8 inches, but the pivot in theory adds that extra 2 inches, and it's just so devastating. The Dragon Emperor, even with the Blade Wrath, it's cool. I'm strength 6. I get 9 dice that are in theory strength 6. Can you do enough wounds? And to be honest, you don't.
It's 3 to 4. That's it.
And the other thing is, then you commit so much to that, and it's even when you wound the Mumak, the fact that it has Elf Captain Courage.
Oh, don't get me started.
Who thought of that?
I also want to point out, I think, Alex, before the tournament, you were saying that I'm taking the Mumak, I'm having a bit of fun, yada yada. I'm not looking to win the GT, and I think unknowingly you brought the perfect quote unquote meta killer for Queensland at the time.
Oh mate, other than I expected a heap of Angmar that I thought would punish me, there was one Rise of the Witch King. Yeah. And there was obviously other Witch Kings and things, but other than getting stopped on Arnor, I kind of punched through that. There's a lot of things that just worked out really well. And again, this is if for people thinking, oh, I want to take a competitive list, I want to win a tournament, don't take a Mumak. This
No.
was a perfect storm of scenarios, lists I played, all coming
Holy
together.
shit.
This is a 1 in a million, 100%.
I
There's
think-
no,
yeah.
I'm not saying this is like this was a strategic mastermind. No, this is bad out
Alex
of
got
hell,
lucky.
1 in a million. Yep,
Yeah,
100%.
and so that's a part of this game. Like you'll get lucky draws throughout tournaments. It's a part of tournaments. You're gonna get
It's
sometimes you'll
100%.
have lucky
Yep.
scenarios, lucky draws. You'll just be like, cool, that's it.
Yep.
You,
Sometimes
you
you
can
get-
put all the preparation you want into winning a tournament, and I know I've done this before with Dale. I went to a T-bar tournament where I was like, I'm going to win this tournament with Dale. I practiced out to Wazoo. I had everything down. I knew exactly what to do. Walked into that tournament, smashed my first 3 games. Game 4, Vanquishers showed up. I got absolutely fucking railed. And it's just one of those things that, to win a
There's so much you
tournament,
can do,
everything has to line up perfectly for you.
Always.
Absolutely.
And in the
definitely.
same way, half the time, sometimes you draw contests and you're facing a Sauron. Sometimes you're playing Lord's Battle against Goblin Town.
Yeah.
Just things sometimes fall into place, and
Yep.
look, benefited massive. I'm really happy because fucking Moomaks are cool models.
It's great to be able to say, yeah, I want a tournament with a Mumak.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Bring Morgul Blades. If you're high points, bring a Morgul Blade.
Yeah, shout out to that. So I think we'll call the tournament wrap up there. Just so it doesn't blow out too much further.
The Queensland GT is done, and we're down to our basically last tournament of the year. Down at Battle Harden, Jay.
Yeah.
Be there, but Sean, you're coming down representing the goats.
I will
from up
be there.
yonder. But therefore, am I doing it? Oh, I'm just
Hey,
gonna
go
run
on.
with it.
Fucking why
Go
you
on.
not?
From moi to Tyler the Footman to Sean that paints 40k stuff to Jay who's salty about a Mumak.
Sold his Eastlings because he lost to a Mumak.
I saw that post. That was amazing. To the NGG community, thank you for listening. Enjoy your games, enjoy your hobbying, and good night. Transition.
Love you.